The unexpected alliance. The mining colony of New Horizon wasn't much to look at, just another collection of prefabricated domes scattered across Mars' rust-colored surface. But for Sarah Chen, lead engineer of Resource Extraction Unit 7, it was home. She stood at the observation deck, watching the swirling dust devils dance across the Martian landscape when the proximity alarms began to wail. Unidentified object entering atmosphere, the AI's calm voice announced. Trajectory suggests controlled descent. Configuration unknown. Sarah's fingers flew across the holographic display, bringing up defensive protocols that hadn't been used since the colony's establishment 15 years ago. The object, whatever it was, didn't match any known human spacecraft designs. It was too organic, too fluid in its movements. All personnel to emergency stations, she commanded, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. This is not a drill. The object, no, the ship, landed with surprising grace just outside the colony's perimeter. Its surface rippled like liquid mercury, reflecting the pale Martian sunlight in ways that defied physics. As Sarah watched through the reinforced viewport, a section of the hull simply melted away, revealing a tall, ethereal figure. The alien, there was no other word for it, stood nearly 3 meters tall, its body composed of what appeared to be crystalline structures that shifted and flowed like water. Where a human would have a face, there was a complex pattern of geometric shapes that pulsed with inner light. "I come seeking help," the alien's thoughts somehow translated directly into Sarah's mind. "My ship's core is failing. Without repairs, the containment field will collapse within 48 hours, taking half your colony with it." Sarah's training kicked in. "Quarantine protocols - she began, but the alien interrupted. "Will not be necessary. I am Zalthor, last survivor of the crystalline consensus. We have watched your species for centuries, admiring your remarkable ability to survive against all odds. Now, I need that human ingenuity." The next 12 hours became a blur of activity. Sarah assembled her best engineers, working alongside Zalthor to understand technology that seemed to operate on principles that contradicted everything they knew about physics. The alien's ship didn't just use energy, it existed in a state of constant quantum flux, drawing power from the very fabric of spacetime. "Impossible," muttered Dr. James Rodriguez, the colony's theoretical physicist. "By all known laws of thermodynamics, this shouldn't work." "Perhaps," Zalthor responded, geometric patterns shifting in what Sarah was beginning to recognize as amusement, "your laws need updating." As they worked, Sarah learned more about the crystalline consensus, a civilization that had achieved technological singularity millennia ago, only to face extinction when their sun began to die. Zalthor was their last explorer, searching the galaxy for species worthy of inheriting their legacy. The solution, when it came, was quintessentially human. Instead of trying to repair the alien technology using conventional methods, Sarah proposed adapting the colony's mining lasers to stabilize the quantum field. It was crude, dangerous, and by all rights shouldn't have worked. "Like trying to repair a quantum computer with a hammer," Dr. Rodriguez protested. "Sometimes," Sarah replied, calibrating the laser array, "the simplest solutions are the best ones." To everyone's amazement, except perhaps Zalthor's, it worked. The ship's core stabilized, its mercury-like surface calming from its agitated state. But that wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. "You have proven yourselves worthy," Zalthor announced, producing a crystal that pulsed with inner light. "This contains a fraction of our knowledge, enough to revolutionize your understanding of the universe. Use it wisely." As the alien ship lifted off, disappearing into the Martian sky, Sarah held the crystal, feeling its warm pulse against her palm. In that moment, she knew that humanity's place in the universe would never be the same. Echoes of knowledge. 2 years after Zalthor's departure, Earth had changed more dramatically than anyone could have imagined. Sarah Chen now stood in the gleaming headquarters of the International Space Development Coalition in Geneva, watching holographic displays show the progress of humanity's first quantum drive vessels. The crystalline data core has revolutionized every field it's touched, Dr. Rodriguez explained to the assembled UN representatives. Energy production, medicine, space travel, but we've barely scratched the surface of its potential. Sarah touched the small crystal pendant at her neck, a fragment of the original gift, now serving as a neural interface. The alien knowledge had come with an unexpected price. Not everyone could interface with the crystal. Only certain humans, those with a specific neural pattern, could access its secrets. We're detecting unusual quantum fluctuations in the Kuiper belt, announced Dr. Amelia Patel, their lead astronomer. The signature matches Zalthor's ship, but it's different. Distorted somehow. Before anyone could respond, every piece of crystal-enhanced technology in the room began to resonate. Through her pendant, Sarah felt a sensation she hadn't experienced since that day on Mars, the touch of an alien mind. But this one radiated fear. They followed me, the thought voice was weak, desperate. The Void Hunters. They consume crystalline civilizations. Earth. Earth must prepare. The message ended abruptly, leaving behind a deathly silence. Sarah looked around the room, seeing her own concern reflected in the faces of her colleagues. They had inherited not just knowledge, but perhaps also the enemies of their benefactors. The gathering storm. Deep in the Atacama Desert, humanity's first quantum defense array took shape. Sarah walked through the sprawling facility, marveling at how human ingenuity had merged with crystalline technology. What once would have taken decades to build had been accomplished in months. The neural network is online, Dr. Rodriguez reported, his hands dancing across crystalline control surfaces. We're seeing quantum entanglement rates that would have been theoretical just 3 years ago. But Sarah's attention was on the massive holographic display showing the approaching threat. The Void Hunters, as they now knew, weren't just ships, they were living void forms, entities that existed partially in normal space and partially in dimensions human minds could barely comprehend. They're not just hunting crystalline civilizations, Sarah explained to the emergency UN session via quantum link. They're hunting potential. Any species capable of achieving quantum consciousness. The evidence was clear in the crystal's deepest archives. The crystalline consensus hadn't just chosen humanity for their ingenuity. They'd recognized something else, a unique neural architecture that could evolve to match their own quantum-based consciousness. Lieutenant Maya Patel, commanding the prototype quantum destroyer, New Horizon, reported in from the Kuiper Belt defense line. Multiple void signatures detected. They're testing our response patterns. Learning. Sarah felt it through her crystal interface, the subtle probe of alien intelligences, vast and cold as the space between galaxies. But humanity had an advantage the Void Hunters couldn't comprehend: unpredictability. Initialize Protocol Prometheus, Sarah commanded. Across Earth and the colonies, hundreds of quantum-enhanced humans linked their consciousness through the crystal network. Not the rigid, pure efficiency of the crystalline consensus, but something new, a fusion of human creativity and quantum technology. The void entities hesitated, their approach faltering as they encountered something they'd never seen in all their eons of hunting, a hybrid consciousness that operated on principles they couldn't predict or counter. This would be humanity's greatest test, not just of their technology or their strength, but of their ability to evolve while remaining fundamentally human. As Sarah joined her consciousness with the network, she felt something the crystal archives had never recorded before: hope. Quantum awakening. The first attack came not with apocalyptic destruction, but with subtle elegance. Void Hunter probes slipped through Earth's quantum defense grid like shadows through sunlight. But humanity had prepared for this moment in a uniquely human way. They're expecting crystalline responses, Sarah broadcast through the neural network. Show them how humans fight. Instead of the precise, mathematical defensive patterns the Void Hunters anticipated, Earth's defenders responded with controlled chaos. Lieutenant Maya Patel's quantum destroyer squadron executed maneuvers based on ancient Earth naval tactics, their quantum drives creating unpredictable interference patterns. Did we just defeat an advanced alien species using techniques from wooden sailing ships? Dr. Rodriguez's voice carried both amusement and awe through the network. The art of war is still art, Maya responded, her ship dancing through space in ways that would have been impossible before the crystal technology. Even across millennia and species. But the Void Hunters learned quickly. Their second wave adapted, becoming more fluid, more aggressive. They struck simultaneously at quantum communication nodes across the solar system, trying to isolate Earth's defenders. Sarah felt the attacks through her crystal interface, each one a cold spike of alien consciousness trying to shatter the human network. But instead of breaking, the network evolved. Human minds, linked through crystal tech, began creating new quantum patterns faster than the Void Hunters could analyze them. They don't understand improvisation, Sarah realized, watching the battle unfold across multiple dimensions. Their consciousness is perfect, but rigid. They can't create, they can only react. As if proving her point, a group of Australian quantum engineers had reprogrammed their defense grid to generate patterns based on Aboriginal Dreamtime stories. The Void Hunters' attempts to predict and counter these movements failed spectacularly. Echoes of humanity. Deep within the crystalline network, Sarah made a discovery that changed everything. Hidden in the quantum frequencies, beneath layers of alien mathematics, she found evidence that the crystalline consensus hadn't simply given humanity their technology, they'd encoded their entire civilization into the crystal's quantum matrix. They didn't just choose us as inheritors, she explained to the Emergency Council. They chose us as partners. The crystal isn't just a database, it's an incubator for a new kind of consciousness. The Void Hunters sensed this transformation too. Their attacks became desperate, throwing themselves against Earth's defenses with increasing intensity. But each attack only accelerated the fusion of human and crystalline consciousness. Maya's quantum fleet engaged the main Void Hunter force near Saturn's rings. The battle that ensued would have been incomprehensible to human observers just 3 years ago. Ships phased through quantum states, weapons fired beams that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, and space itself seemed to ripple with competing consciousnesses. They're not just trying to destroy us, Maya reported, her voice tight with concentration as she coordinated the fleet's movements. They're trying to prevent something from happening. Something they fear. Sarah felt it too, a building resonance in the quantum network. Human minds, linked through crystalline technology, were achieving something unprecedented. Not the cold perfection of pure crystal consciousness, nor the chaotic creativity of pure human thought, but something new, a hybrid awareness that could bridge the gap between organic and quantum existence. The crystalline consensus didn't just give us technology, Sarah broadcast through the network. They gave us evolution itself. The ability to become something greater while remaining uniquely human. As the battle raged across the solar system, the first children of this new evolution were being born. Humans with natural quantum crystalline interfaces, their minds capable of processing reality in ways their parents could barely comprehend. They were humanity's future, if Earth could survive long enough to secure it. The breaking point. The void between Saturn and Jupiter became a quantum battlefield unlike anything in human history. Maya's fleet engaged in maneuvers that defied conventional physics, their quantum drives leaving trails of distorted spacetime in their wake. They're trying to establish a containment field, Dr. Rodriguez warned through the network. The same pattern they used to trap the crystalline consensus. Sarah felt the enemy's strategy through her enhanced consciousness. The Void Hunters weren't just fighting, they were attempting to quarantine the entire solar system, cutting off humanity's quantum evolution before it could spread further into the galaxy. Earth's response came in waves of controlled chaos. Chinese quantum arrays synchronized with Brazilian defense grids, creating interference patterns based on ancient musical harmonies. Indian quantum processors calculated battle solutions using principles from classical dance. Each human culture contributed its unique patterns to the defense, creating a tapestry of resistance the Void Hunters couldn't predict. The crystal network is reaching critical resonance, Sarah announced, feeling the buildup of energy through her neural interface. Whatever's going to happen, it's happening now. The Void Hunters sensed it too. Their attacks became increasingly erratic, desperate. In near-Earth orbit, the first generation of quantum-enhanced children began to glow with internal light, their consciousness naturally bridging the gap between human and crystalline existence. Maya's voice cut through the quantum noise. They're not just trying to stop our evolution. They're trying to prevent their own extinction. We're becoming something they can't consume. Legacies dawn. The final battle for humanity's future unfolded across multiple dimensions simultaneously. The Void Hunters launched their ultimate assault, a cascade of anti-quantum energy designed to shatter both human and crystalline consciousness. But humanity had one last card to play. Through the crystal network, Sarah initiated what they'd named Protocol Genesis. Across Earth and its colonies, humans linked through crystalline technology began resonating in perfect harmony, not with mechanical precision, but with the organic rhythm of a species that had evolved making music, telling stories, and dreaming of the stars. The quantum network exploded with creativity. Artists' brainwaves became weapon signatures. Musicians' harmonies generated defensive shields. Poets' rhythms calculated faster-than-light trajectories. Every human quality that the Void Hunters considered inefficient became a weapon they couldn't counter. We aren't just fighting for survival, Sarah broadcast through the network. We're fighting for the right to become something new while remembering who we are. The transformation, when it came, was both subtle and profound. Humanity didn't ascend to pure energy or abandon their physical forms. Instead, they achieved something unprecedented, a perfect balance between organic chaos and quantum order. Their consciousness could now exist simultaneously in normal space and quantum dimensions, while their bodies remained fundamentally human. The Void Hunters, faced with prey that had become neither predator nor prey but something entirely new, retreated to the spaces between galaxies. They left behind a changed solar system and a changed humanity. Maya's quantum fleet returned to Earth orbit, their ships now as much a part of their consciousness as their own bodies. What do we do now? She asked through the network. Sarah stood at the same observation window where she'd first seen Zalthor's ship, watching crystal spires grow alongside traditional human architecture on Mars' surface. We do what humans have always done, she replied. We explore. We create. We evolve. But this time, we do it among the stars. In the quantum network, she felt the echo of Zalthor's consciousness, not a recording, but a living pattern preserved within the crystal matrix. The crystalline consensus hadn't died, they had become part of humanity's next step. Not as rulers or guides, but as partners in an unprecedented journey of evolution. The children of Earth's quantum awakening would carry both legacies forward, human creativity and crystalline knowledge, bound together in ways that would reshape the galaxy. They were humanity's gift to the universe, proof that evolution didn't have to mean the end of what you were, but could instead mean becoming more of who you always had been.